大家好，我是 Jason Wang, 王凯杰。
I'm starting my journey through the world of Michelin-starred dining. I've got an appetite for learning about the culture of the countries I'll visit, using delicious foods and flavors to record my travels. Armed with my 5 senses, I want to take a closer look at how masterful chefs prepare the finest cuisine in the world. Come with me. Let's explore what it truly takes to create a Michelin star-worthy meal. Today, my Michelin food hunter journey continues in Prague, the Czech Republic. This city, listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is visited by over 9 million tourists each year. The 2019 Michelin Guide recommends 31 restaurants in Prague, with cuisines ranging from traditional Czech to Mediterranean Italian to Asian and Japanese. The Michelin restaurant I'm visiting today has gained lots of attention in Prague, combining elements of both Asian and European cuisine to create a never-been-seen taste experience.
In Prague, there are lots of amazing Michelin-level restaurants kind of hidden away on side streets and street corners, but the next restaurant I'm looking for is 米其林餐盘推荐的 Levitate. And there is a young Vietnamese chef. He's only 27 years old, but I hear he's doing really great, amazing things with Nordic cuisine fused with Asian influences. So wait a minute. Nordic cuisine and Asian influences, what kind of meal is that going to be on the plate? I think it's a very interesting pairing, but let's go in and take a look. Whoa, I'm noticing right when we come in, lots of organic elements. So I'm seeing there's moss on the wall. You can see there's wheat on the table. But let's take a closer look. Hello, excuse me. Hello, I'm Jason Wang.
Nice to meet you. Christian.
Chef Christian.
Yes.
I think the restaurant's really beautiful and the design's quite interesting, whimsical elements. And can you tell me a little bit just about the concept of the restaurant? I noticed it seems very green, very organic.
Actually, the restaurant is in the basement, and we want to create something, make the people feel that they are in the nature. So we want to combine the green bowls,
plants and
yes, with wood, the glass.
Wood. Okay. And I noticed the terrariums as well. There's lots of little fun details hanging in here.
Yes, our concept is about the levitate. Levitate means that everything it's
kind of like floating and
kind of flowing. And this is actually that we build it that when you see it across, that you don't see any ropes or anything. So it's just
got it.
Levitating.
Okay, and I noticed there's something special happening in here. So what is this?
So this is a levitating plant that's working on a magnetic pole.
Oh, sure, yeah. That's a very interesting element, but I could totally now see levitate, levitate. That's really cool. 这边的 feeling 好像一个大自然的这种感觉 because if you take a look, right, 好像是雨滴，然后雨滴下来到水里头，然后桌子是大地，这边木头，然后掉到水里头，这边有个河，然后有稻穗长出来，然后就会有米，然后就好像掉在餐桌上，往盘子上就可以吃了。So I think that's the 设计 is very, very interesting and 很完美的一种 environment.
A compact but carefully planned restaurant full of Scandinavian design elements drawn from nature makes the dining here not only a delight for the taste buds, but also for the visual senses. The Michelin Guide's point of view writes, basement restaurant with just 22 seats, featuring living plant walls and the sounds of nature. Cooking from the Vietnamese chef is a creative blend of Nordic and Asian influences with ingredients found in the Czech Republic. Asian, Nordic, and Czech. Levitate's point of view is strong and unique, and in the menu's design, Chef Christian also has some unique innovations.
Chef Chris, I noticed what's very interesting for me is on the menu itself, printed, there are 3 different categories. So Aqua, Fauna, and Flora. And can you explain a little bit about the concept behind these items?
Our concept is about balancing all elements on the menu. Aqua, it's about the local fish.
Okay.
So we have only river fish, no seafood. Fauna, it's about meat. So we focus to the best meat in Czech Republic. And the last, it's Flora. It's about vegetables and fruits. The menu, it's always start with the Flora, and then with fish and with meat.
Okay.
And we repeat it for 3 times on the menu.
This type of menu design is definitely a unique concept sure to thrill the guests. The Nordic influence here doesn't mean the use of Nordic ingredients per se, but instead the spirit of respecting nature, utilizing local ingredients and being creative with what's available, like during the winter season when vegetables are scarce. Today I'll be tasting a 6-course menu designed by Chef Christian just for me. I'm looking forward to seeing how Chef works the elements of aqua, fauna, and flora into his Michelin cuisine.
Beautiful.
Dish from the Flora.
This dish is about pickling, and it's inspiration from the Scandinavian gastronomy that we make it here in Czech Republic. So we have a seasonal asparagus that we pickle it, so it's preserving for the winter time.
I think just immediately the presentation is very, very stunning, very, very colorful. The flower and the herb elements, it looks like it's a little garden in the bowl, which is lovely. And especially the little stone, this is made from cashew
And sesame.
Cashew and sesame. I think this is really amazing. I'm gonna dig into this and take a taste here. Wow, tasty mouthful, because for me there's an explosion of the flavors of the cream in there, and then there's also the pickled elements of the asparagus. And 通常我们想到芦笋，我们会想到 maybe 炒过的或是煮过的，所以口感是比较偏软的。但是这次的芦笋的处理的方法是腌制，而且让它发酵，所以不光是有芦笋的甜味，而且有一种很 balanced 的酸味， and 中间有一种他们自己做的酸奶。 And I think in Nordic cuisine 这是很传统的用酸奶的东西来配一些不同种的蔬菜类的东西。 And I think 很值得 point out 这是什么东西，这是很特别的，是松枝。 And I think especially 热带的地方你是绝对看不到这个食材。松枝的 flavor 因为是腌制过 it has 一种酸度，所以会有一点像maybe like 橄榄的这种味道，但是松枝本身有一种 very, very fresh pine smell to it, but just the pickling tempers that a little bit, and 味道 is 相当浓郁 in terms of the aroma here. And I think what you might find very, very interesting also, 这些一颗一颗小的这种石头actually 是用腰果 and 芝麻做的， and I think there's 芝麻 elements in here. Just give it a real nuttiness and a real earthiness that pairs really well with the acidic elements from the fermentation and the herbal elements from the oil. So it's quite delicious. Thank you.
Thank you.
This dish as a starter for the meal is appetizing and refreshing. And I've realized the secret of how Chef Christian uses Asian elements: edible garnishes, seasonings, and spices. I'm curious to see how Chef will interpret the element of aqua in our second course.
Beautiful, simple, crisp presentation, and interestingly enough, it looks like is this snail caviar?
Yes.
Snail eggs! 瓜牛又来了，瓜牛蛋就在这边，猜到了。
This is the sturgeon that we lightly grill, and then we saute in brown butter. On the top, you can see the snail caviar,
Yeah.
ginger gel, and the sauce is made of black sesame.
Black sesame, okay.
Yes,
Are snails a traditional food in Czech cuisine or not so much?
very traditional.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna dig in here, and I noticed, especially for the togarashi, why did you decide to use togarashi on here?
I want to put a little bit spicy to the fish. That is make it not boring, but more interesting in the taste.
So this particular fish 是鲟鱼 and 鲟鱼我们以前看过，因为 it is the fish that produces caviar as well. But you think maybe, okay, there should be caviar in this dish, but not sturgeon caviar, but snail caviar, which is, I think, very, very interesting to pair with this, both in terms of color, in terms of just offering a different type of flavor. And for me, the presentation, again, lovely, but the flavor is very, very remarkable because it has some Asian elements in there. There's the black sesame, there's a little hint of sweetness, and again, the togarashi there kind of brings in the slight Japanese element, which gives me a little bit of flavor of almost like a grilled unagi. 但是它做的方法是非常非常提高这个 flavor， 因为它配的料不是香菜，也不是葱，而是这个是dill， 所以 dill 是给它一种 very very fresh vegetable component， 还有它的 snail caviar 加在里头，一泡一泡在这边再爆在嘴巴里的这种 kind of smoky rich umami flavor。And I think 它用这个 sturgeon 真是有表达到它的米其林的这种创意力的想法，因为它的口感你嚼的时候不老，但是你越嚼越有味道，所以它搭上的 sauce。一直嚼，等于是很 mouthful。And I think 能考虑到哪一种鱼可以配哪一种做法，可以配哪一种配料，真的是有经过很多思考 and things like that. And I think that's just really the strength of the creativity of a chef here of this level.
Chef Christian has used Japanese togarashi to bring warm and spicy Asian flavors to Prague, and has used black sesame and ginger to add layers of complexity to the sturgeon. It's perfection. Our third course is Fauna. Want to guess what's being served?
The next course is about Wagyu Tong.
Okay.
This is very unique because we are the only one restaurant in Prague having a tongue on the menu. The tongue has very special texture and flavor.
Okay.
We eat the tongue very, very common in Vietnam. And for Czech cuisine, it's also very common.
Okay. And how would they prepare the tongue typically?
They usually cook it for a long time. It's break down. It's very tender. We do the same way, but we want to combine the tongue with a rich flavor. That's why we roast the tongue on the bone marrow.
Oh, really?
Yes. We salted the tongue on the bone marrow, and we also put a little bit Asian touch. It's the fish sauce.
Fish sauce.
It's very strange for the European people. And then we put on the top mustard seed that we marinate in red wine, fresh horseradish, egg yolk. It's a dry egg yolk, and a little bit of lemongrass oil, and finish with a sauce made of green peppercorn from Vietnam. You can feel a little bit spicy of the horseradish, creamy texture of the sauce, and popping mustard seed.
Yeah， 我觉得这道菜是让我觉得是很温和的这种 warm feeling， 因为 the 肉一到嘴巴里头 ，it's 煮了很久，炖了很久。但是通常我们会想到肉炖太久会变成柴柴或者干干的，但是它有个技巧，它是用 bone marrow 在这边 roasting， 所以那些脂肪的这些都会被吸收在它的 tongue 里头。So chef, I noticed that you use green peppercorn in here, and why did you pick green peppercorn? Where is that flavor influence from?
Green peppercorn that we have it here, it's fresh from Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yes. When I was young, my dad he cooked a lot.
Okay.
And he used sometimes green peppercorn, and it reminded me of the childhood. And I really like the spiciness of the green peppercorn.
Yeah, but
it's not spicy like the dried.
Not hot.
This idea it's about I want to make it spicy, but less spicy like paprika or anything else. But make it very smooth with a lot of butter inside and combined with the soy sauce mirin.
So the sweetness is coming from the mirin, is that
Yes,
right?
mirin and butter.
Mirin and butter. Okay, what an interesting pairing. 这道菜里头的 pairing 是相当特别，因为 they have mirin and they have butter. So mirin 真的是传统的亚洲的这种 ingredient， 但是 butter 是西方式的，所以你会想这两个会不会是对打 in the flavor component? But no, it actually just gives another layer that works really well together. It's really interesting for just knowing that a lot of things that you eat growing up and where you come from really influences how you think about the food and on the plate. So it's a very unique perspective, and I think that's amazing.
Thank you. So we have again here the dish from Flora.
Whoa. Whoa, it's like you brought the whole forest here, right here on the table.
This is the inspiration of the nature.
Amazing. Okay,
Yes.
Wow. These two are paired together?
Yes, this is the dish that we made it with enoki mushroom
Okay.
on a brown butter. On the top is the egg yolk foam
Okay.
and ramson chips from last year. And we also combine it with the shiitake.
Shiitake, okay.
We want to make the customers feel that they are in the forest now.
Oh, for
So
sure.
we're serving the small bite that made of pickled shiitake,
Okay.
covered on the top with seaweed nori, and the service will pour the special essence of the forest.
Ah! Oh my god! That's awesome! Hello! Oh my gosh!
This is like in the morning you go to the forest and you're picking some mushrooms. You can smell also the flavors. It's the brown.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh, this is so crazy! Oh, 真的是很 surprising, and I think 通常你会想到这种是 like liquid nitrogen, very theatrical, but 不光是 theatrical, it has 香味. There's a lovely fragrance and perfume. I feel like I'm in a movie. Just in the dish here, you've transformed the entire table and the setting into a whole different setting. So, what's the best way to eat this amazing pairing of two items here?
We recommend to the customers that use the fork,
Okay,
and,
fork
and spoon, and eat the mushroom like pasta. So you just twist
okay.
it and eat it.
Okay.
And we want the customers eat it like a pasta. The texture is a little bit chewy, but crispy also.
金针菇是很经常我们看到的食材，但是这种的做法 is 很有创意力。它等于是把金针菇代替 pasta, so instead of noodles, instead of 面细面，它配的这种有蛋黄，给一种 very 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 rich flavor， and 吃的时候的口感都在耳朵里可以听到，就是这种，所以不光是这种 visual， 而且是味道，而且是听到的，全部都是 play a part in the experience here. When I take a look at this, 这个很特别，因为是完全是一种好像在树林里头的这种感觉。Next thing, so I tasted this and now I move on to this.
Yes.
Okay, and I think 这个是很特别。别看它这么小经典的一口，但是 has 很多层次 in here. I see there's herbs and this nori chips.
Seaweed nori.
And why are you thinking to pair nori with the shiitakes?
This is very Japanese influence.
Okay, cheers. Surprising flavor because the mushroom 是烤过的，但是也是腌制过的，所以有一种很爆香的这种酸度，有一种不是腻的感觉。因为很聪明，它是炸过的 nori， 也许会油，所以它配一个这个 balanced acid in there. It's a very very balanced bite.
This dish is so theatrical and dramatic, even bringing the aroma of the forest right to the table. It's amazing. Sight, smell, and sound are all accounted for, and the whole dish echoes the restaurant's emphasis on nature. Now that the scene is set, we are in the perfect mood to enjoy the next course.
It's a local fish, catfish.
Catfish?
Yes.
Ah.
The fish that normally people don't eat because it's very smoggy. And they feel that the fish smell.
But I know in Vietnamese cuisine, catfish is, people use it a lot.
Yes.
Is that why you chose it a little bit, or just also because it's available here?
I chose the fish because I believe that I can change
People's perceptions.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we sous vide the fish, sous vide with degrees of 54, 25 minutes. And then we cover the fish with wasabi cream and the crumbles made of tempura and panko.
Okay.
For Christmas.
Sure.
On the side is the sauce made of heavy cream, fish sauce, and leek oil.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right in here with the catfish, and there's a little bit of crumbles on the top. You said tempura panko?
Yes,
Okay.
tempura and panko.
So it's 是天妇罗的这种 panko 的这种 little breadcrumbs and the wasabi cream here. So this dish is absolutely delicious, and I'll tell you why. Lots of textures going on, but not too many. 3 very distinct textures. I get the fish itself, which has a lovely tender but melting quality to it, and I have the panko crumbs on there, which are very, it's almost like pop rocks, very crunchy, not greasy at all, but just a very light crunchy texture in there. And to top it off, the sauce, which is this creamy, luscious, sweet, kind of mild, leaky flavor with a little bit of that depth of that fish sauce in there. And the really interesting element for me is the wasabi cream. And 它的加的 wasabi cream 就是让它有一种微微的冲的这种感觉，所以the leek sauce 是很温和的，上面这种是脆脆的 ，and then the 肉是很嫩的，然后加上这个有一点芥末的冲的这种感觉 ，it's 很 focused 的、很 pure 的这种一个 flavor profile in my mouth.
Chef Christian's creative success has made catfish a new delight for the Czechs and a popular dish on the menu. Next, we have our final course, dessert. According to the menu's flow, it should be fauna. But does that mean dessert's gonna be made out of meat?
It's time for our dessert. Wow, this is quite an interesting, amazing presentation. Hello.
How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
How was your food?
The meal has been incredible so far, but I'm presented with this. Can you explain a little bit the dessert course? Stunning.
Okay, this is the last dessert. We have it on the menu. We want to make a very good experience in the end of the meal. That's why we create a dessert with meat. So you are having now the dessert with foie gras that we mix with French cognac. And then we cover with a mixture of meat. It's fermented honey. In a bowl, you have espuma made of white chocolate. On the top is 7 spices, Japanese togarashi, and a little bit apple dust.
Wow. Did you all just catch that? This dessert really is made from meat. Foie gras. Foie gras is worked into a sweet preparation and is shaped like stones, then is placed alongside real stones, and is accompanied with togarashi spices. Chef Christian is being very clever here.
It is a small maze you have to.
Yeah, I have to find
It's not.
我觉得就是很特别这一道菜，我真的不知道是可以吃哪些部分，因为看起来就是像一盘石头。I think for me, just a really interesting, fun presentation because it almost looks like rock candies. So have any of the guests picked it up and eaten the wrong thing before?
We always warn the customers that they have only 2 pieces.
Okay.
And they have to be careful that the rocks are always heavier than the foie gras. Actually, no one yet
Broken it.
Yes.
Let's take a look in here, and I think I found it. I think it's very interesting texture because the foie gras typically, I assume, has a very super creamy, dense texture, but the way that you've treated the foie gras gives it a nice kind of fluffier texture to it, and it's very interesting. 的外面的那一层，是用有酒，还有他们是发酵过的蜜来这边包在外头，这种很甜的这种preparation, it's super fun.
Yes, you should taste it together.
Together, okay.
Yes. The idea is you combine the flavors of foie gras, it's cold, and the warm espuma. So you take the foie gras, put it into the foam, and eat it together.
Foie gras. There we go. Especially the one mouthful, you get the initial texture of the outside coating of the foie gras, that creamy kind of fluffiness of the foie gras, and then you have the sweetness from the white chocolate espuma. not overly sweet way, but just a really nice balanced way. And you have those little hints of the spices, the togarashi and the apple, just giving a very, very, very composed but satisfying, light and also sweet, but not overly sweet, perfect pairing. So you're right, we should eat it together.
Yes, thank you.
And smile again.
I'm smiling, it's very, yes, delicious. Why did you decide to have foie gras as the dessert?
Because I want to surprise people. I want to make them always remember maybe only one dish on the menu that make them, maybe in a bad way, in a good way, they always remember.
Okay,
You know, I have many times behind the door observing for the reaction, waiting for the reaction of the people, and 99% of the people after taking that bite into the mouth
Yes.
Was smiling.
Smiling.
Because
Delicious.
it creates a luck, and this is fantastic. Chris is very innovative.
Oh, I for sure. This incredible meal has been very just full of surprises and interesting elements and combinations of cultural influences that have a very, very successful pairing of all these elements.
This is the amazing creativity of a Michelin-level chef. The sweet foie gras tastes like the best quality chocolate ganache and slowly melts in the mouth. The 6 innovative Michelin dishes we had featured asparagus, sturgeon, Wagyu beef tongue, enoki mushroom, catfish, and foie gras. Everyone's eaten these ingredients before, but Chef Christian has a way of cooking them to bring out fresh flavors that no one's ever tasted. Chef Christian immigrated to the Czech Republic as a 10-year-old and has been working in kitchens since the age of 17. With a passion for cooking and a drive to be the best, this self-taught chef became a Michelin-level head chef at the age of 27. The Czech media and gourmands everywhere speculate that he is due for his first Michelin star and is likely to become the very first chef of Vietnamese descent to earn a Michelin star. We look forward to seeing his next level of success. After enjoying Chef Christian's hospitality, I get a rare invitation from Chef to visit one of his purveyors to gain a better insight into his creative process. This location is a remote farm located about an hour's drive from Prague.
It's a real different landscape from inside downtown Czech area, Prague.
So this is the Biodynamic Farm.
Oh, hello, hi.
Hello.
I see beets. Yummy. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Jason.
Hi.
Hello.
Martina.
Martina.
Nice
Sebastian, nice to meet you. Chef Chris told me he wanted to take me to see something, kind of a secret place, kind of where he gets some of his amazing products from. So I guess this is it.
So we are here.
It's wonderful, wonderful. And I think it's really interesting. Just I see lots of things all kind of mixed together. I think it's not what you would typically think of for like a farm production for things like that. So can you tell me just a little bit about, your kind of philosophy on how you grow things here? And
we are growing with biodynamic principles.
Okay.
But we are like in the way to
Wonderful.
label or certificate.
Because I know it takes a couple of years before you can,
Before you heal the ground, it's taking time.
And in the meantime, we are caring about the soil to get it alive, like
To get
compare
the
with the
life inside. That it's,
because we how more life inside, how more living soil, the better production and beautiful and delicious.
Chef Christian has brought me to a very special biodynamic farm. This farming philosophy is similar to organic farms and also doesn't use insecticides or chemical fertilizers, but it is more concerned with the ecological harmony of the soil, plant growth, and human health. Chef was introduced to this farm a few years back by friends and was very impressed. Most of the edible flowers and herbs he uses at the restaurant come from here.
They always surprise me because it's like mystery. When we go on the garden, you can always find something new.
okay.
And it's very funny and interesting. For example, there were flowers.
Forage.
Forage.
Forage, I know. So very interesting. And I noticed on, oftentimes people just think it's for visual impact, but it's not. It has a flavor, right?
For sure.
So amazing. So
Cucumber.
cucumber, okay. So it's very, very delicate, and I'm gonna, Just a little bit of hint of freshness, but it's like a cucumber fresh flavor. So what's interesting, a lot of people just think, oh, the flowers, they don't taste like anything. They actually, the flowers do taste like something. Okay. And here is like marigold.
Yes, very strong.
But it has a very strong,
yes,
kind of like a citrus aroma. 所以每一个植物有它自己的很特别的香味
And it's also very useful because the insects don't like that smell, so they
are
keep out
chasing
from
these swarms against carrots. Like they protect.
Protect. Oh, okay. So spicy flavor 有点辣辣的，但是好像有一种橘子皮的这种香味。So it's 很特殊。虽然这个是很小的花，它的 flavor impact is actually very big.
In Michelin-level cuisine, edible flowers and herbs serve not only as garnish for the plating, but have important supporting roles as flavors. So their taste has to be considered, along with their being pesticide-free and also their color. Who knew that even a tiny flower on the plate had so much thought going into it?
Really interesting. I feel like I'm in a bit of a maze here and lots of interesting things. So what's growing in this particular area?
Here we call them spaghetti beans.
Oh, spaghetti beans.
They are Asiatic beans. They are these longer kinds.
Oh, okay.
They're very delicious.
原来长冈豆也种在这边, so really amazing. And they seem very, very tender. And it's a lovely, and do you ever use these in the restaurant or?
Not yet, but I think it's gonna be very interesting for the testing menu that we can make some special dishes for the regular guests.
通常我们吃的豆子就是已经很老了，已经比较成熟，但是这个是刚摘下来的，非常非常甜， so 一定是有很好的料理可以用这个做。And I'm noticing, so these are all tomatoes, and can you tell us a little bit about the tomatoes you have here?
Yeah, it's a bit the same like the beans. They are growing well here, but now on the end of the season they are ripening more slowly, and we have a lot of varieties which we are trying. Here is again this wild one that we had before. They are the most delicious kind which we have.
Yeah,
thank you.
And what is it like for you, chef, just to be in here and seeing all these different varieties of things at once?
Sometimes you can just pick them
and just taste them
and think about what you should do with the dish.
Pair with the flavors. And I think it's interesting also, you're growing tomatoes mixed with beans. Is that a typical practice or?
Yeah, the beans, they are definitely a very good culture to grow because they give nitrogen to the ground. Next year, if you will plant here tomatoes,
yes,
then
they'll grow better. Okay.
They will grow better already. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there is a lot also with combining the plants, better growing or
help each other up. Yeah. Okay.
An important principle of biodynamic farms is crop diversity and allowing different plants to grow alongside each other in mutually beneficial relationships. But figuring out which plants grow best together requires constant experimentation. This isn't the easiest way to farm.
你刚看到这个 farm 的时候，你会觉得 maybe it's very, very disorganized, but actually there's a very strong and focused reason why the things are planted the way they are. So if you take a look just right over here, it looks kind of messy maybe, but no. You see there's basil here, there's marigolds here, the amaranth here, the tomato here. Why are they all planted like that? Well, each of them helps each other grow. And just amazingly, the beans here, they fix nitrogen into the soil, helps the tomatoes grow. The marigolds repel insects. The basil helps the marigolds repel the insects too. And basil grown with tomato makes the tomato flavor even better. So as a chef is coming through and seeing all these different things, you can take a look. All these combinations of plants together you may not have had. So everywhere you look, just little pockets of things. You see the artemisia here, and then you may see the chicory here. But you know, as a chef, you taste it, smell this, and all of a sudden maybe you have a complete new flavor combination that you can show together on the plate. So I think there's definitely a method to the madness. It looks wild and out of control, but I think that's part of the charm and the creative energy of this particular farm.
Chef continually finds inspiration on the farm. Only through constant experimentation can you achieve a steady flow of creativity. Look, he's already pondering some new ideas.
This is the real green stamp seller.
But after this, I feel very celery.
Yeah.
I love to use the lemongrass, and this one is like
This is better.
Great. Yeah. My brother in Ecuador, he has bushes like that of lemon verbena, and you take 2 meter leaves for your tea. That's really.
Chef is there interacting with Sebastian and Martina, and what are they doing? They're literally tasting all sorts of different things, and they're talking about the flavors, and I think it's really interesting because this kind of interaction can only happen on a small farm like this. It's not going to happen in a big giant production facility, so that ability to kind of walk around and learn about ingredients, learn about new plants, learn about the different stages of their development and all the parts that can be eaten and utilized in different dishes is a really wonderful opportunity, and definitely in Michelin level restaurants, it's this kind of personal interaction and creativity that makes its way onto the plate.
There is so much effort and care that we don't see that goes into creating those 10 seconds of enjoyment in our mouth during a meal we have sitting in a Michelin restaurant. 4 years ago, Sebastian and Martina started this biodynamic farm, and it has since become one of Chef's greatest resources. But did you know that they jumped into this outdoor adventure just as a labor of love?
We have no backgrounds in farming, in fact.
Not really. Yeah.
So what made you decide to kind of jump into this, and what were you doing before?
Yeah, I'm actually the teacher of art.
Really?
But, yeah, but I just prefer to work outside and can be dirty and don't have to stress my head, but more work with my body, and my mind can fly freely around. And yeah, it's.
And also for me the urge for the world, like to get a healthier farming. Like everything is mass produced, and we are doing it very small still, but it's possible in any way.
Who else works on the farm besides you two?
Some families coming to help in the summer,
but do you have a big group of workers?
No.
It's mainly just you two.
It's just us, and all the visits.
We're grateful for the visits.
And I think included in work.
This couple is just beyond adorable, don't you think? Thank you, Chef Christian, for taking us to visit such a unique biodynamic farm and giving us a look into your creative process. This visit also made me realize that people should be responsible for the land they farm and use the most natural methods to grow crops, not just for healthy eating, but to help protect the environment as well. Before leaving, Chef picks up some lavender. He wants to show me how to make a dish with it. It's his surprise gift to me.
So just a bit earlier we were at the farm, and now we're back in the kitchen here with Chef Christian at Levitate again, and making something really amazing with this beautifully fragrant lavender.
Yes.
And so what are we making today?
So we'll make the ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yes, ice cream with farm's heavy cream, milk, and also the buttermilk. And we'll put also the dry lavender inside.
Delicious. Very unique, interesting dessert, especially using lavender, I think, oftentimes underused.
Yes. So now we start with whole cream first.
Whole cream, okay.
Yes, this is very fatty. We put the buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
Yes.
So why are we using two different types of kind of dairy things?
The buttermilk has a very unique flavor, it's sour a little bit, and it's more creamy than the milk.
Okay.
And we put yogurt.
Yogurt. Okay, so 3 different types of dairy in
Yes.
here. Okay.
Yogurt will give the ice cream more texture.
Texture. Okay.
So we'll heat the mixture to the 60 or 65 degrees. We will not cook it.
Okay. What happens if you boil too much?
When we boil it, it's going to be separate.
Okay.
The special for this dessert that we don't use any eggs or we don't use any sugar.
Ah,
So that's why we adding some honey.
Okay, 应该是很纯的一种nice flavor experience. Keeping it nice and pure, simple and pure.
Yes.
Yes.
So now we put it to the mold or jar.
Okay.
And
So I'm getting all this creamy kind of smells from here. It's
Yes.
like the buttermilk, a little bit of tang, but the cream and just the milk is just nice and rich dairy smells here.
so we'll put some dry lavender into the
Okay.
milk or mixture. Be sure it's going to be only few stems of lavender because lavender is very strong,
Very strong.
and we want the taste only a little bit of lavender,
Okay.
but still it's going to be creamy, and the honey you can taste.
Now, what happens if you let it sit too long? What happens?
It's going to be more strong.
Strong. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
3 hours is enough, and
Okay.
I think it's perfect time because we made a lot of tests,
Ah.
and we leave it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours till 8 hours.
Oh.
And then we find out
Too strong.
Yeah,
Tastes
because
like
we
so.
made a very small sample
Okay.
of each,
Okay.
and we leave it for
Okay.
a long time, and we find out 3 hours
Okay.
is the best.
所以原来看起来好像就是很简单的一个 recipe，but 主厨他们的 team 整个有 experiment 过很多种不同的做法。
Once again, this confirms that the path to attaining Michelin quality isn't by chance or by luck. After the lavender infuses and after the mixture freezes, we can complete the dessert.
So the next step is what's happening. So we've had the cream infused and then it's frozen.
It's frozen, and then we put it into the Paco jet.
Okay. So for people at home who don't know what a Paco jet is, it's a miracle invention that's used in the restaurant, but you can freeze something and then just buzz it in there and you get that perfect creamy texture for ice cream. So it's amazing. So very, very, very quick. It's just super simple, easy. You don't have to go through all the steps of making an ice cream, but it's just gonna go from frozen solid to creamy delicious in no time flat. All right, so the beeping sound means it's all done.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Can we just show the camera here?
Yes.
I mean, check it out. It's all spun smooth. Originally, it was just a solid block. 但是现在就是creamy smooth 就可以挖了. Yes, amazing.
Thank you.
So what are the other elements we have here?
So in the bowl we put tapioca
Tapioca, okay.
that we marinate in sea buckthorn syrup,
Oh,
and on the top it's roasted green rice. Mix it with honey and also a little bit of syrup,
oh, delicious.
and then we make the quenelle of the ice cream.
Quenelle. Okay, so I just want to tell everyone, quenelle is a very, very refined technique, and look at how easy that looked, just in and out. But there's a lot of practice that goes into making a perfect size quenelle like that. So quenelle
And we finish the dessert with a little bit oil made of lemon verbena.
okay. So 一种香料是一种柠檬的味道，他们做成一个油。So 滴上. So it's all these little additional elements that really make the dish so special.
And finish with brown butter.
Brown butter?
Yes.
Why brown butter?
It makes it the dessert more buttery
Okay.
and give it nut flavor.
Nutty flavor.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
So I hope that you enjoy our cooking.
Oh, for
and
sure.
I hope that it's gonna be a good memory of the product.
Oh, for sure. Okay. So let me get in here and taste this, and it's a jolt of flavor in my mouth. 冰淇淋你会想到是很重的这种奶味，但是完全不是，就是很 clean 的这种 taste。你可以感觉到这个 honey 的这种甜度，所以真的是不需要加糖。上面的 brown butter 在嘴巴里融化的时候，有一种 nutty 坚果 toasty flavor。And the texture from the tapioca 还有这个饭爆的一粒一粒的，真的是唰唰唰唰唰的，这是很有层次的口感。And 最主要的就是很香的一个 aroma of the lavender. It's all in my mouth. 但是 again 也不腻也不 fatty， 就是很 pure 的一种 flavor memory for me. And it's kind of like my meal here at Levitate. Just really pure, concentrated flavors and something really delicious. And I think for me, Prague has been a city of kind of unexpected flavors and unexpected pairings. And for me, for sure, definitely your meal was a real highlight of that. So thank you again for having me here at Levitate to kind of take in your whole philosophy of cooking and how to approach things, and I think really pushing cuisine and the concept of here, the food in Prague, to the next level and the different future directions. So looking forward to hearing many, many successes in your future. Thank you. Thanks.
My taste of Prague today is sweet and joyful, filled with amazing experiences. Thank you, Chef Christian, for giving me such a rewarding food hunter journey today. This Michelin chef has drawn from his culinary heritage to successfully integrate Asian flavors into European cuisine. He looks forward to one day bringing his culinary ideas and experience home to Vietnam so he can push Vietnamese cuisine onto the global Michelin stage. We wish him the best of luck. In our next episode, we visit an especially cozy Michelin restaurant in Prague. With only 10 seats, it's tiny, but full of charm. Having a meal there will find you talking directly face to face with the chef.